How's it going, top 4 traders? I've got a lesson today on my own trade, what went wrong, what I learned from it, and how you guys can learn from it as well. Very simply put, today was just being greedy, and that's where I went wrong. And I know a lot of you guys are looking to get funded soon, so this is a lesson that I want you guys to know before you go for your funded accounts. So going into today, I was expecting some longs because on the daily, you can see yesterday that we had a very rapid expansion down. I mean, over 1,000 points down. So I was expecting a, somewhat of a move up before we get a move down, lower. And I was trying to trade the rebalance of this candle, which was kind of dumb of me. I should have known better than to do that. I should have traded just shorts, but that's where I went wrong. Mistake number one. So I had a hourly fair value gap paired with hourly SMT at the lows, which is what I used to get my longs. Now, as we got closer and closer to 10 o'clock, I saw on the 1 minute accumulation, and it looked like it was building up LR paired with a move down into an hourly fair value gap with hourly SMT at the lows. This was looking good for my longs, my idea to long it into internal liquidity. So I actually have the video. I recorded my trading session and I'm going to show you my exact entries, my thoughts behind them, and how I could have done better. So starting out here, what I did was once we got a rejection off of this fair value gap, I was looking for a close above the most recent swing high. Once we got this close up here, we got a pretty big expansion. And now I was a very big fan of how strong these candles were closing. You'll see that it'll be a pattern today, which kind of played into my greedy factor. Once we got to move back down to rebalance this candle, that would be my entry to go long. Now you can see eventually I got it, and very quickly, you can see within a minute, I was already 25 points in profit. I was about to hit my first 500. We had another expansion up higher. Once we moved back down to rebalance it, I added into my position. I added a second contract. Nothing wrong with that. I have no regrets about how much I added in because how confident I was in my idea. And you'll see, it honestly did play out for a nice little second there. I just had the wrong idea today, and that's all that went wrong. Well, there's a little more that I could have done, is what the lesson is about, but I'll get into that later. So I'm just watching it, and 2 contracts is typically my limit, especially for this size account. It should have been my limit. Now price kept looking good. Again, we got like a 50-point candle right there. So once we came back down, I was looking to add in 1 more contract, just because, like, again, price was looking super good to me this morning, and I was ready to attack it. So finally I get my 3rd contract. Now what I did wrong here was, okay, not what I did wrong here. I have no problem adding in. I think I did a good job at adding in, at being mature about it and not rushing it. What I think I did wrong, what I know I did wrong, was playing with my stop loss. I have a 10-point stop loss at this point, and believe me, I can afford the 10-point stop loss with 3 contracts. That's $600, no big deal. What I should have done better, or the reason I did that, was I was hoping, I didn't want to move my stop loss into profit or at break even prematurely, because I was hoping that when I saw price coming down like this, that it would bounce up and I would make more money. And you'll see later that as it got lower and lower, see, as price came closer and closer towards my entry, I ended up getting rid of my stop loss, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. My whole account is on this one. At this point, this is where I turned it into gambling. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna let it, if it dumps, I'm gonna lose the account, whatever. I'll just start a new one, a bigger account, which is what I wanted to do, honestly, but I shouldn't have done it this way. And this is where I went wrong. At this moment, when I got rid of my stop loss, that's where I went wrong. I was being greedy. I was like, you know what? Hopefully if it comes lower, it won't, instead of hitting my stop loss, it won't stop me out, and hopefully it'll end up just going higher instead of stopping me out and then going higher without me. What I should have done, I should have left my stop loss at 10 points, and I would have only taken a $600 loss. I could have lived to trade tomorrow on a live account. Or even better, what I could have done is, at this point, I'm $1,500 in profit, and that is really good. At this point, I could have moved my stop loss 10 points into profit, and I could have walked away with $600. Or I could have even set it to break even, and I wouldn't have made money today, but I definitely wouldn't have lost any money. And that's definitely what I should have done. I let greed get to me, and this 50-point candle ended up hitting me. It absolutely destroyed me, and it would have destroyed anyone with any size account. This move down was just something completely unexpected. I wasn't prepared for it. In hindsight, yes, shorts were definitely the move today, but taking this long, I could have prepared myself a little better. Even if I didn't know we were gonna go short, or even if price ended up, if the draw on liquidity was higher, things like this still happen where you get a giant candle pushing down 50 points and it just completely wipes you out. What I could have done better, I'm gonna repeat it again. I could have put my stop loss in profit, just a little bit in profit, and I would have walked away with $500-600. Or I could have set it to break even. Wouldn't have made money, but I could have traded tomorrow when my draw on liquidity was a little clearer, and I could have made money tomorrow. So that's where I went wrong today. And I want you guys to learn from that. You got to be okay with being disappointed sometimes. I was pretty disappointed that that price was kind of consolidating here and it was coming lower and lower. What I was mostly disappointed about was that at this point I had 3 contracts and my take profit was only, I don't know, 160 points. I'm going to do the math real quick. 166 points. I was halfway there. I was halfway there to that take profit, and that take profit would have been $10,000 in my pocket. I wanted to make $10,000 in one day. And believe me, I do believe I am fully capable of doing that. It's just I went the wrong way about doing it. I added in the right way. I think my head was in the right spot, but it was at this point where price started going lower and lower, and I just didn't want to get stopped out. I was disappointed at this point. I was like, man, like it should have bounced higher than this fair value gap. It should have just came down. It shouldn't even have stayed in here. After this candle, it should have went higher to my take profit. That's what I was thinking. So I was disappointed. I was disappointed that there's a possibility I would only make $2,000. There was a possibility I would only make, in air quotes right now, only make $600 in 3 minutes. I was being disappointed about that. I was being ungrateful with what I had, and I decided, you know what, I let my emotions get the best of me, and I got rid of my stop loss. And I was like, you know what, if it's gonna take me out, it's gonna take me out. But if it goes my way, I'm gonna be rich. I should have been okay with the disappointment of, quote unquote, only making $600 as opposed to $10,000. That's a pretty big disappointment, especially how good things were looking. Things were looking like, look at this. Within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Within 6 or 7 minutes, that was 122 points. Things were looking phenomenal. I should have been okay with only making a couple $100. So something going forward I want you guys to do is, if you're adding into your positions, or even if you're not, stay firm on your stop loss. Do not get emotional and make your stop loss bigger or even getting rid of it completely. Keep it set at the amount you can afford. Or in my case, if you're adding in continuously, just put it a few points in profit. Like, put it 3 points in profit. Okay, so what if you only make $60? If you only make $600? If you only make $1,000? If you make $0, or if you only lose 200, if you only lose 400, you gotta be okay with that. Okay. So just stay firm on your stop losses, move them in profit. Don't be an idiot. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. I hope this message finds you well. I hope that as you guys start getting into your funded accounts, you do not make the same mistake. Don't let the greed get to you. I promise you, days that look as promising as these first 7 minutes are going to happen again, and they're going to be 10 times better, right? You're going to have days where instead of expecting to make $10,000, price is gonna end up going 400 points, right? You're gonna have days like that. Or even if you caught the shorts today, which I know some people that did catch the shorts, that's 400 points right there if you would have caught the right move. So guys, just you gotta learn to be okay sometimes with disappointment. So yeah, take care, you guys. I'm gonna start a new funded account tomorrow. Hoping to pass it within the next week or so. We'll see. We know December price action isn't the best. I'm gonna size down, but I gotta make $9,000 in order to pass it. But since I'm sizing down, we'll see how long that takes. I will be live streaming it, and I will be giving call outs, so I hope you guys will be able to follow along with me and learn something during the live sessions in the morning. Take care, guys.